Welcome to La Seu Urgel in the Spanish Pyrenees for the 2019 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships. It's the 40th edition of the World Championships since 1949, and we're into finals time. 63 nations represented in this competition. 382 athletes started in the first round of competition, and now it is women's C1 and men's K1 finals. We're down to the top 10 in each category as they fight it out for the world title of 2019. We're here adjacent to the River Segre in the Spanish Pyrenees on this fantastic autumn sunny day. This park built for the Olympic Games in 1992, the canoe slalom events at the Barcelona Olympics, and what a legacy this site provides. It's hosted 3 World Championships. This is the 3rd time it has hosted the World Championships since those Olympic Games. Myself, Andy Maddock, in the commentary box with you today, and alongside me I'm pleased to welcome Sona Stanovska, a kayak and canoe junior World Championship medalist from the Slovak team. Welcome, Sona.
Thank you.
So we are eagerly anticipating this 10-boat women's canoe final. Here is the lineup. They race in reverse order of their performance in the semi-finals. AV Liebfath of the United States of America will go off first, and the fastest from the semi-final, Nuria Villarubla from the home country Spain, will go off last in the final. So exciting stuff, and they all start from zero. And well, we had some big names go out in the semi-finals, some surprises, and we saw Victoria Wolfhard of Austria go out in the semi-final, not in the final, and Mallory Franklin, the world champion and European champion from 2017 and 2019, not through either. Kimberly Woods, a surprise.
Yeah, and also many others. This is the first final without French girls.
That's a good point, and the French tend to do well on this course. It's just over the Pyrenees from France, and they host a lot of events here jointly with the Spanish, so big surprise. But here we are ready to get underway. So the rules are simple. Fast and clean is the name of the game in this great sport of canoe slalom, and AV Liebfath leads the way for the United States of America, just 16 years old in her first international season, and already she has made a bronze medal at the World Cup Series in Tartan in Slovenia earlier on this summer. She was 10th at the Junior World Championships earlier this year, and AV has really come onto the circuit and made her mark. So it's an indication. 101.19 was the fastest raw time we saw in the semi-finals. It's the same course, and it's all about delivery now under pressure as we go for gold here in La Seu. So AV looks like she's really got a good run on the boat on the first few gates. Now into this tricky double upstream, gate 10 and 11.
Yeah, good run without any big mistakes. Till now she has a clean run, and this is also the main thing for a good result.
Well, it's nicely done on 13 to 14. One of the classic moves here on La Seu, but it doesn't make it any easier. These moves, you've still got to keep your focus, haven't you?
Yeah, it's quite tricky because sometimes it's better to switch the pedal to the left side, sometimes it's better to go on the right side, and you need to find which way is the best one in the moment.
And we have 9 nations represented in the 10 boats in this final. The only country with more than one is the host country, Spain. And AV Liebfath is putting in a good run together here for the United States of America. It's going to be a clean run. And now she's just got to dig deep for those final few strokes. And a time 1:08.10. And well, that's a good start for the young American, and a good benchmark for everyone else to chase. Well, based on the semi-final times, then it's certainly quicker than what she managed on that first run. Just a fraction quicker than what she managed in the semi-final. AV Liebfath of the United States of America puts a good marker down for those still to come. So Sona, we saw a fast time, 101 set by Germany's Andrea Herzog. What kind of time do you think it's going to take to win this race today?
If someone will have really good run, they can think about under 100 seconds, but that time will be so challenging.
Well, we've got some top paddlers coming up. We've got Jessica Fox, who's a multiple world champion and reigning world champion for Australia. She goes off second to last. But of course, we've got local knowledge. We've got two Spanish boats who are very capable, including Nuria Villarubla of Spain, who was the fastest in the semi-finals. But the first of the two Spanish boats now on course, Clara Olazabal, who is a Junior World Championship finalist from 2016 and a World Cup finalist this year at the first World Cup of the season in Lee Valley. So it'd be interesting to see, because the huge home crowd here in La Seu, and the home advantage is clear in canoe slalom, but when you've got the home crowd and that expectation, you've got to balance those nerves, haven't you?
Yeah, but I think that she is one of the athletes which is calm, and she is just looking how good she is and don't care about the others.
Well, that would be a good attitude to have, isn't it? And she has the advantage early on, 0.87 on Avi Liebfarth of the United States of America, and she is looking super composed. So how did you raced in a World Cup this season on home soil in Bratislava? How was that? You knew the water, but there was extra expectation.
Yeah, but in Bratislava we had a problem that sometimes they put the gates in a place where the water changed, and so everyone have some other water, so it's not really fair for. And I think that this problem was in Bratislava.
So the home advantage wasn't so strong for you in Bratislava. Well, Clara is still up on race leader Avi Liebfarth, but it's been trimmed to 3/100ths of a second, so it's all going to be what happens on the bottom part of the course. And fine margins, canoe slalom is decided by, and following this we'll have the men's K1 final as well, so stay tuned live here from Spain. And into first place, Clara Olazabal holds her nerve and takes the race lead. 0.87 the advantage for Spain's Clara Olazabal. 8 boats still to go, and there's some exciting paddling to go, and I wonder whether there'll be a bit more risk-taking on this final. Anywhere you would particularly think that the athletes might go for glory?
I think that Anna Satila, sometimes she takes so much risk. Sometimes it worked for her, but sometimes she achieves a 50 seconds penalty or some other problems.
And the good thing is, because we're into the World Championship final, then the Olympic boat qualification is, so everyone in this final knows that their country has qualified an Olympic boat quota place, and in fact there are 5 countries that, according to the rules, will have to decide which place to return, because if the same athlete qualifies more than one place, the country has to decide to return one of the places. So Australia, New Zealand, United States, Andorra and Brazil will have to hand a place back. But here is Brazil's Anna Satila, who you were talking about, Sona, who is a super talented paddler. She's the under-23 world champion this year. She's a former junior world champion, and always an exciting paddler, but there is an early touch. It is on gate 3.
Yeah, she turned it a little bit too high on the gate, and she just touched it with her boat.
So Anna Satila, always very fast, very aggressive paddler, and takes risks, and that's really exciting for us, the spectators, to watch, because when she gets it right, she can be deadly fast. She was on the podium at the last World Cup of the season in Prague in the Czech Republic, and in terms of the overall World Cup standing, she was second. But another penalty for Anna. She's going to have to really find some pace to make up for those 4 seconds in penalties.
Another touch.
So Anna, she won Brazil's first ever World Championship medal at the individual events in 2017 at the World Championships in this event. Doesn't look like she's going to be fighting for a podium spot today with 6 seconds of penalties, but hugely consistent. She made it into the final yesterday in the women's K1, and now the women's C1 event, and definitely a name to watch as we head towards Olympic year, with just under 300 days to go until the Tokyo Olympics, and another penalty on 23. She's going to be a fast time, but it's going to be outside of the reckoning for the podium. Third place for Ana Satila of Brazil, and well, it's a good time, 105.16 plus 8 seconds in penalties, but it is about being fast and clean. So AV lead path leading for the United States of America, because interestingly enough, Clara Olazabal of Spain has been given a 2-second penalty on gate 18. So it is AV lead path of the United States who leads the way with 3 boats down, but 7 boats still to go in this women's C1 final here at the 2019 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships. You can see the crowd really eagerly anticipating, and well, a big French contingent come across the mountains, across the Pyrenees to support their team. They have got disappointment in this final because no French representation in the women's C1 final, as we watch the Austrian Nadine launch her campaign for World Championship gold here in the sunshine in the Pyrenees. Nadine was really quick at Markkleeberg in Germany, and a small mistake cost her a gold medal there. But she's definitely capable of getting on the podium today. And in the semi-final, she was very strong, had a real rhythm on the boat, and you favoured her for doing something special today, didn't you?
Yeah, I do. But she's the only one here in final which doesn't switch. But she's super fast.
And she showed that on the top, 2.42 up. Now that's been cancelled out by a penalty, and another penalty on 10 as well. But she's certainly giving it her all now. She's got to recompose herself, find the lines, and see if she can limit the damage of those 4 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, and before the bridge, the middle section, she did straight without spin. But unfortunately, she touched the gate, so it wasn't really fast.
So it's still up, 1.44 up. Such is her pace. That includes those 4 seconds of penalties. So Nadine Vrachnik is still putting herself in a good spot in this World Championship final. Now coming towards the drop. This is the critical move. She takes an aggressive, well, it's a bit low. She's now got to run out, stay off the pole on 24. And she does that. It's going to take the race lead. I think 108.10 is the time to beat at the moment, and into first place, 106.45, but she'll be ruining what could have been, because that's a good time, 102.45.
Without those touches, I think it might be enough for the podium, but 2 touches, it's too much.
So Nadine Vrachnik takes the lead here for Austria, but 4 seconds of penalties, and leaves the door open. She could have slammed that shot, as you say, and really banked herself a place on the podium, I think, with that kind of time. Here, yeah, see the other penalty. Such margins, the bows of the boat just taking the touch. But a touch is a touch, however hard you hit the pole. 2 seconds of penalties added to your time. So Nadine Vrachnik of Austria leads ahead of AV lead path of the United States. Clara Olazabal in third for Spain with 6 boats to go. And well, here's another name, because she's a World Championship silver medalist from 2017. It is the Czech Republic's Tereza Fisarova. She's had a good season this year. She's finished 3rd overall in the World Cup. And, well, last time out, she was on the podium. Bronze medal in Prague on her home course. And that will have given her a good launch pad into these World Championships. So spins on the top through 3 and 4. And you can't really win the race on the top, but you can lose it with the odd penalty.
Yeah, and the girls, they always spin the second gate. So, but some of the K1 men, they went straight there.
They did indeed. They took that high risk, and well, for some it paid off, and for others they picked up penalties.
But here in Laseo, if you want to be on the podium, you need to risk.
That's it. There's no place for safety, is there? It is. Yeah. It is. Well, I always say in canoe slalom, if you want to win, you've got to be prepared to lose. You've got to take the risks.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes doesn't. So.
And I think whilst that's cruel in our sport, equally I think that's part of the attraction of our sport.
Yeah, and here the water changed a lot, so you need to take a risk.
So Tereza Visarova now 2.67 down. So that 2-second penalty on gate 10 at the moment puts her out of the contention for the first place, but she could still snatch it at the bottom. It's all going to be down to these last few gates, and you sort of run out of time, don't you, to make up time on here. Easy to lose time, but very few places to really find big chunks of time. So through gate 25, it's going to be outside the lead time. Tereza Visarova of the Czech Republic into 4th place. And, well, that's a bit of a surprise. I thought she would be a bit higher up the order, but that 2-second penalty, well, that's going to be significant. And it is Nadine at the halfway point in this World Championship final, who holds the advantage, and that includes 4 seconds of penalties. And we see that penalty for Tereza Visarova. Well, no doubt about the penalty. 2-second penalty. Doesn't matter how often you touch the pole. Still 2 seconds added on. Great move on the upstream gate 20. And yeah, just one boat from each of the 9 nations. It's just Spain that have 2 in this final. It leaves it wide open and really exciting for us, the spectators. And significantly, only one person who's won the world title, Jessica
Nadine,
Fox.
you had 2 gate touches, but you're still leading. It must have been a very fast run.
Yeah, it was still
Monica Villarubla for Andorra, Jessica Fox of Australia, and Nuria Villarubla of Spain. So some big names still to come, but of course, yes, as Nadine mentioned, we lost Victoria Wolfhard in the semi-final, and Great Britain's Mallory Franklin and Kimberly Woods. But here is the classification at the halfway point of this women's canoe final. Nadine Verachnik of Austria, holding on to the top of the leaderboard. And with a nervous wait, that's all she can do is watch. How does that feel? You've been in that position before in finals, and you've laid your result down and you just have to sit and watch. How nerve-wracking is that?
Well, sometimes it's fine, but sometimes it's too much of nerves. And here in Laseo, it's the main thing to make the Olympic quota. Then many countries have their own home selections here. So, and plus it's world championship, so really important.
So lots of pressure on these athletes, and well, Luuka Jones no pressure really on her. She's already got a bronze medal from the women's kayak event. She's qualified New Zealand a boat quota place in both events. They'll have to hand one back. And now racing freely. She can race without fear as she goes for a podium finish here in Laseo. But a touch on gate 1 won't help her cause. So her semi-final, she looked like she had such a flow on the boat. She really had the rhythm.
Yeah, but now she touched another gate, and I think that she is a little bit slower, like in her semi-final run.
I would agree. I think the top section on the semi-final was her outstanding section. I mean, she was pretty good all the way down, but it really was the top section where she found the rhythm. And sometimes that's quite important for the whole run. If you get in the rhythm at the top, then it all flows.
Yeah, but I think that she can be really happy with her performance because in both categories she is in final, and yesterday she had a medal. So.
Well, yeah, and she is 4.7 down on Nadine Verachnik of Austria. So Nadine gets another step closer to the podium. And late, Luuka Jones late into the upstream gate 20. As you say, Luuka will leave here pretty happy going into the Olympic year with a bronze medal in the kayak and a final, another final in the women's C1. Quite which place it will be, we'll have to wait and see. And it's a respectable run for Luuka Jones, but it's outside the time and paddling through to the finish into 5th place. So disappointment there, didn't quite find that run of the boat that she found in the semi-final, but well, still great performance there. And Nadine Verachnik of Austria holds firm at the top of the leaderboard, ahead of Avi Liebfarth of the United States of America. And Clara Olazabal for Spain is in 3rd place with 4 boats to go. So here it almost didn't quite start right for Luuka Jones. Right at the top, a penalty on gate 1, and not probably giving herself the space around the poles that allowed her to really find the flow of the boat that she found in that semi-final. She'll go knowing she is qualified for the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and she can start those preparations for that 2020 season. Now, here is a name to watch. The fastest raw time from the semi-final. It is Andrea Herzog of Germany. She managed 101.19. If she can repeat that, she will put herself in real contention to take the world title here.
Yeah, she's just 19 years old, so also one of the young paddlers. But her performance is so strong.
2-time junior world champion, and very much capable of punching her weight at senior level. She's had 2 finals this year, and I think we talked about it in the semi-final, she's deceptively fast, isn't she?
Yeah, and now her top was incredible.
So 0.26, the deficit, that's in touch at the moment. Because as well, don't forget Nadine Verachnik had 2 touches. So Andrea needs to deliver what she was so good at in the semi-final, and so far, so good. Oh, nicely done, 13-14. She looks so effortless, doesn't she? She just looks really, she's going about her business, and at the moment it's looking good, and it's looking like, wow, 5.67 the advantage. Andrea Herzog of Germany has found the kind of pace that she found in the semi-final. Good punt off the wall, and Germany's Andrea Herzog has 3 gates to go in this World Championship final. She sneaks around 23. Now she's got to get this tricky little gate 24 out of the way, drag the bows round, and surely she is going to take the race lead here in the World Championship final. Andrea Herzog of Germany, 100.52. I don't think she can believe it. That is outstanding.
Yeah, here in Laseo also yesterday with Cedric Joly, so he's also one of the young paddlers, and now Andrea. It's good to see that also the young paddlers can have such a good runs and taking medals.
Wow, well done, Andrea. That has set this final on fire. And the remaining 3 paddlers are going to have to dig deep to challenge that. Are we looking at the new world champion? Well, we'll have to wait and see, and certainly it'll take something special to beat that.
Yeah, I think that even Jess and Villarubla, they will have a problem with this time to beat.
Well done, Andrea Herzog of Germany. And when you break that down, she's just solid, isn't she? All the way down,
Yeah.
she delivers the lines. She doesn't take too many risks. She got a bit of trouble down the bottom, but again, she kept calm and didn't panic. And look at that, 100.52. She is our race leader with 3 to go. And next up for Andorra, just up the valley here from Laseu, it is Monica Doria Villarubla on course and going for gold. Well, how special would that be for Andorra to take a gold medal here at these World Championships? They already have an Olympic boat quota place for Tokyo 2020, and so far so good as she comes into gate 5. So Monica Doria Villarubla, well, a 2-second penalty on the downstream gate 6. That won't help her challenge. So trains on this course day in, day out. And it's interesting, this course, although it's cold here in the Pyrenees, we're at an altitude of around about 700 meters above sea level. It is used year round, and these athletes train on the course even in the depths of the winter. And 3 touches now, it's getting out of reach.
Yeah, but still her run is without any big mistakes, just the touches. But she's a little bit slow now.
Lots of local support, but look at that, 9.83 seconds down.
Another touch.
Yeah, it's not going to be a podium today, unfortunately, for Monica, but still, she's got lots of local support down from Andorra, and I think the Spanish crowd giving her support as well. But yeah, 5 touches, 10 seconds and penalties added on to her time, which her time itself is going to be very competitive.
Yeah. Here in Laseu, they support everyone, and it doesn't matter from which country they are.
Yeah, and it was great to see on particularly earlier on in the week how many school children had come out of school to wave their flags and support everyone down the course. Created a great atmosphere.
Yeah, even it was like Monday or Tuesday, and they came here from the school just to cheers and see how we train here.
And hopefully, people like yourself competing will inspire those people to get involved in sport and see what that offers them in terms of fulfillment. So it is still Andrea Herzog of Germany leading with that storming time, 100.52 seconds ahead of Nadine Verachnik of Austria. Avi Liebfall still holding on to bronze for the United States of America.
So Andrea got at least bronze medal.
Well, yes, that's right. That'll be our first senior championship medal. So already a personal best for Andrea, but with that time, she couldn't go better than that. So let's turn our attention to the 4-time world champion. She's wearing the number 1 bib, the world number 1, and she has worn that uninterrupted since 2013. That is a stunning statistic for the most decorated paddler in world championship history.
Yeah, she is definitely the one who can beat this time, but she touched it and she lose kind of speed there.
So an early mistake from Jessica Fox of Australia, but well, if anyone can deal with that, she's very used to that. Now she is going to have to produce something special to take the gold here. She's had a good season. She won the World Cup, not only in this women's C1 event, but also in the men's K1, the women's K1 yesterday. She was on the podium, so she's had a good season and particularly come back to form. She was a little bit less consistent earlier in the season, but she's come into form just at the right time, and that's a good move, 13-14. Be interesting to see where she compares with race leader Andrea Herzog of Germany as she comes through 3 seconds down. Well, that's not a disaster, but it's, you know, in terms of the podium, she's right on track. But if she wants to take gold, she really is going to have to dig deep here. She is the defending world champion from 2018, and it looks like at the moment it's heading towards Germany. And Jessica Fox, though, on the bottom section, that's got to be the fastest we've seen. It's going to be tight, and it's going to be a sub 100 time, but that 2-second penalty on gate 3 puts Jessica Fox into second place. Wow, she responded in, well, what you'd expect as true Jessica Fox style.
Yeah, I like that when she even make mistake, she still continue doing her job, and now we see she is taking a medal.
So well done, Jessica Fox. You may not be able to take another gold medal. It won't be 5 world titles for you on this occasion, but it is a medal for Australia. Currently sitting in second behind Andrea Herzog of Germany and Nadine Verachnik of Austria. Still in the bronze medal position with 1 boat still to go. The fastest boat from the semi-final, but Jessica Fox, what a time there. 99.46 plus that touch on gate 3. So 2 medals from these championships in the individual event for Jessica Fox. And well, look at this location. You never get bored of being here in the Spanish Pyrenees, here at La Seu. And here is the host country, Spain. Their big hope, Núria Villarubla, sets off on her quest for World Championship gold. And the time for that gold medal, 100.52, is the time to beat. Núria Villarubla, well, she's a European champion. That was in 2016. She's been on the podium since then, and very capable of delivering when it counts. She looks like she's got the rhythm at the top part of the course. So important to build into the run, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that for her it's even like she needs to beat Clara Olazabal because it's their selection for the Olympics.
So on the one hand, she's attacking the race leader, Germany's Andrea Herzog, but on the other hand, she's looking in the mirror. She's looking behind her to make sure she just does that safe job. Quite a lot going on in her head, and oh, it's a big mistake. And that is similar to Mallory Franklin from Great Britain in the semi-finals. And well, that's significant. Don't know how many seconds she'll lose from that, but it almost guarantees Andrea Herzog of Germany as the new world champion for 2019. But let's stay on this. 8 seconds down, and at the moment Clara Olazabal 8.71 seconds down. So still a race on the cards here for the internal battle for Olympic selection within the Spanish team. So Núria Villarubla now, she's done well. She's refocused after that big mistake in the middle. She's kept it clean, and well, there we have it. The Andrea Herzog's time has bypassed now, so she is world champion, and Villarubla of Spain goes into 7th place, and well, that is behind Clara Olazabal of Spain. But wow, what a run from Andrea Herzog of Germany. She is the 2019 ICF Canoe Slalom world champion in the women's C1 event. 100.52, a clean run, and well, that'll go down in history. That was a good run from her.
Yeah, but she really deserves it because she's such a talented girl, and she's working so hard, and now she see the result.
Well, hopefully we'll catch a word with our new world champion in just a few moments' time.
Andrea Herzog, you're world champion.
Yeah, I am. I think so.
How do you feel? I mean, what an amazing day for you.
I really can't believe it. It's just so super cool, and I don't know what happened. Yeah.
You came here wanting to get that place in Tokyo. That was the main priority for you. now you've also become a world champion. Did you think in your wildest dreams you could do that in one weekend?
No, I never thought that it would be possible, but it seems like it is. So yeah, it's so great. I can't describe it. Just great.
Your run was so fast. Did you feel a lot more relaxed knowing you had that place in Tokyo lined up? You could relax a little bit in the final?
Yeah, maybe. At first I thought I'm too relaxed, but then it all was good, and then I was nervous at the start line. So yeah, I thought that could be a good run, and no, it was a good run. So yeah.
Congratulations, what a wonderful day. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Outstanding paddling there from Andrea Herzog of Germany, and still so modest, calm and composed. She's won her first senior world title and won it in style.
Yeah, she already got the title, but from the junior category, and now another one from senior, so really incredible.
Jessica Fox, well, she responded to the challenge and, well, very nearly took the 5th world title of her career in the women's C1, but a touch on gate 3 meant she had to settle for the silver medal. That's her 2nd silver medal of the championships in the individual event, so she'll go away pretty happy. And it was Nadine of Austria. She held on for the bronze medal. What are your reflections from that women's C1 final?
Well, Nadine with 2 touches and being on the podium, so there's also a thing to say that before the finals, I would say that, well, 1 touch, but not with the 2 touches.
Yes, and we saw Jessica Fox not able to quite get to the top spot with the touch here in these great surroundings of this Olympic Park built for the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, and well, how it's matured over the years. But here is confirmation of the results. Andrea Herzog of Germany takes her first senior world title, and in style, 100.52. Jessica Fox, the fastest of the day, but the penalty, which means she has to settle for 2nd. And Nadine of Austria takes the bronze medal, and well, a good performance there from the young Austrian. Avi Liebfarth, I think we should give credit there, from the United States, 4th at her first ever World Championships.
It's a little bit unlucky place, but in her age, she can be happy with that.
So we'll be straight up for the men's kayak final. Here's the start list, and myself, Andy Maddock, bring you all the action as it comes. And I want to say thank you, Sonna, for joining me in the commentary box for that women's C1 final. What a final it was, and well, let's hope the men's kayak final lives up to the similar expectations. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So don't go away, because up next will be that men's K1 final. And the eager anticipation, well, Germany's Andrea Herzog takes Germany's first individual medal from these championships in the Canoe Slalom World Championships. And here is the stats from the semi-final. The difficult gates. Gate 3, 10 and 17 were the most expensive for the athletes. There we have the happy German supporters celebrating Andrea's world title. So myself, Andy Maddock, and now I'm pleased to welcome back to the commentary box Casey Eichfeldt, 3-time Olympian from the United States team. And well, what are you most looking forward to for this men's K1 final?
I'm really excited to see a lot of super tight racing. You know, we already saw in the semifinals that the athletes were really willing to take a lot of risks, and now they're racing for World Championships title. All these guys, they've already confirmed that they have quota spots for their countries, so that job is done, and now all they have to do is focus on chasing the podium. So I'm really excited to see how tight they can make this racing.
Yes, and I think whilst we saw a lot of risk-taking in the semi-finals, I think there was a little bit of not pushing the margins too tight. You'd expect there will be a little bit more pushing the margins in order to just squeeze those extra tenths or hundredths to get on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we'll see if Jiri's confident enough to just float those last couple strokes now.
Well, we won't have to wait long, because we're straight into action here, and it is Slovakia's Jakob who is going to lead us away, the 2-time under-23 world champion. He was 5th at the Rio Olympic Games and just squeezed into the final. But they all start from 0, so this is his opportunity to set a blistering time and pile the pressure on those still to come.
Just a little bit of time there in the upstream 5 for him. I think it almost looked to me like he dropped his paddle for just a split second when he was getting ready to go for the punt, but now it's just, it's just a little bit of a touch there on the inside pole there.
Yeah,
it's going to be costly.
Taking that straight line hasn't appeared yet, but I suspect, yes, there it is, a 2-second penalty. And Jakob Grigor of Slovakia has a blemish on his record in this final. But it was great, Slovakia. He was the only representative in the semi-final, so he had to deliver the goods to get the boat quota place. He's done that, and well, he is racing well towards the time. Now, as an indication, 84.34 was the fastest raw time from the semi-final, and that was Jiri Priskovic, who was, well, cruising at the bottom. But it is all going wrong here for Jakob Grigor. Another penalty and a time loss.
It was unfortunate after that first touch. It looked like he was really doing a great job of maintaining that composure, keeping things together. And then just towards the bottom of the course, that focus just seemed to slip a little bit too much, and now we have that result.
And I can expect the 2 gates that we really see some attention on, we gate 20 and gate 23, in terms of some real neck waving, as I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, particularly in 20, you want to try and keep that tail off the wall. Every time you hit your tail on that, you're losing a bit of boat momentum. It might even do more damage to your line as well on the exit. And then in 23, we saw with Eva Terschel yesterday that there is time to be gained there when you risk, but there's also a lot of risk with that risk.
So Jakob Grigor of Slovakia picking up 4 seconds of penalties. Has a great camera angle on that slightest of touches on the downstream gate 7, and then big mistake here on 20. Doesn't quite get the line right, and has to go back for the gate, and also picks up the penalty. So far in these championships, we've seen France take gold in the men's C1 with Cedric Joly. Eva Terschel, the gold in the women's kayak with Eva Terschel. And then we've just witnessed Andrea Herzog take gold for Germany in the women's C1. So one more medal in the individual events to go. And eager anticipation, particularly as we do have 2 Spanish athletes in this final, so we can guarantee that the crowd are going to erupt, and well, they're going to erupt very shortly, because on course it is David Lorente, who was 5th at this year's European Championships, and he's super quick, using his local knowledge and experience on this great course. And he's looking really, really sharp on the top part of the course.
Yeah, so far doing a really good job of running the boat, keeping it on top of the water so that it's not taking any impact from the waves that's slowing him down. He's pushing really hard through this flat section. Very direct through here. Up almost seconds on the split.
See how he delivers it.
Very nice double up.
10 years ago, the last time that Spain hosted the World Championships here, they had a bronze medal in this event. On that occasion, it was Carlos Juan Martí who took the bronze, but can they get another athlete on the podium 10 years later? Well, David Lorente is looking like he's putting himself in prime position to do that. He's holding the advantage. Of course, that time of Jakob Grigor, the run did come apart a little bit, but it wasn't until the bottom that it really fell apart.
Yeah, very nice here in the up 20. We saw him risk. It worked out for him. Now coming into the last uprights. Oh, just taking it a little bit too tight and hitting it right into the neck, shoulder area. That's going to cost him.
This is a super quick time, but that 2-second penalty will be significant. 85.96, it's the fastest run time we've seen, but that mistake on 23 is, well, he's left the door open, but still 85.96, it's a good time.
And there's that 83 that I wanted to see in that raw time, so I'm happy, I'm content, you know.
Well done, David Lorente of Spain. You have certainly put the marker down, and you've left yourself in the mix. It's up to the others now to prove that they can go quicker than that. Still 8 boats to come in this 10-boat World Championship final, and well, it shows the kind of margins he's really, pushed it down. And but for that mistake on the bottom, I think he could have been getting his tracksuit ready.
I would agree with that. But I don't think we can count him out just yet. That's still, including that touch, is still a very competitive time with what we saw in the first runs in the semifinals earlier today. So it's just gonna time to wait with bated breath and see what happens.
Well, there he is, and he knows it. He's got to wait, and it's going to be the longest 20 minutes in his life, I suspect. So David Lorente leads for Spain in the early stages of this men's kayak final here in La Seu Urgel in Spain. We're in the Spanish Pyrenees. We're live here with this final, and the second of two Spanish boats in the final now. It is Juan Crespo on course now, real local specialist, and again you can expect big things from this paddler from Spain. Real specialist on this whitewater course, and just watch the paddlers. They are really good at knowing where to put the strokes in, where to let the water do the work. But was that a plan B on 5, do you think?
I think so. It looked like he just didn't quite have the line that he wanted for that draw stroke in the up, so he reverted to the next best thing and going for that wall punt, trying to get himself out of that upstream as quickly as possible. He's still fairly in touch. 1.32 seconds back is not terrible. We know that. Wow, crazy little move there. I don't think that was intended either, but he did it really well to save it.
He certainly did. He got his hair wet there, but you don't get penalised for that. And a little bit sticky round 14. It's just losing a few fractions, but it's still a very good run coming together for Juan Crespo. And well, if he can be in touch with David Lorente at this point in time, don't forget David picked up a 2-second penalty on the bottom part of the course. So Juan Crespo still in the mix to take the race lead here.
Just a little edgy on the way into that upstream, but he got that edge down just in time to avoid taking the penalty on that. Snapped it around on the sweep, diving into the last upstream. A little bit more traditional here.
Yeah,
he's deciding not to take that risk.
Yeah, he doesn't take that risk, does he? Juan Crespo now is going to be outside the time, I think, of David Lorente, but it's a good, respectable time for Juan Crespo into second place, 87.22. And it is still David Lorente holds on to the race lead with that 2-second penalty. So David was so good on the bottom section then.
He really did have a great push all the way down the course. He had that amazing lead in the very beginning of the first split. Lost a little bit of it in the second, but then made up a good bit more at the bottom to kind of absorb that 2-second penalty that he acquired.
So Spain first, Spain second, and then Slovakia third. And 7 boats to go in this World Championship final here in the sunshine. And wow, the deafening sound of the crowd with the 2 Spanish paddlers on. But we were saying earlier how good the Spanish crowd is, because they don't just cheer. Yes, it's a bit louder, I think, for the Spanish, but you'd understand that, but they cheer for everyone.
Yeah, it's equal opportunity here, and I love that. They're just excited for sport. They're excited to have the world here, and it's really fun to just have this environment to race with. You know, sometimes when you're tired and you just need a little bit of extra something, when you can hear everybody screaming for you, that's what gives it to you.
Yeah. Everybody out in force, not far to walk out of the town here, just a couple of 100 meters, and you're into this fantastic Olympic park, and in the sunshine on this September Sunday afternoon, and it's the World Championship final. Bradley Forbes-Cryans for Great Britain now. The Flying Scotsman is on course, so this a personal best, making the World Championship final. Now he will seize the opportunity.
Just a little bit of necking there in the downstream gate 3. Maybe a little bit more of a direct line than he was looking for, but he made it work, and he's off onto the corner of this top half of the course.
So there's still a bit of an internal battle going on in the Great Britain team for the Olympic team. They have secured a boat quota place through the semi-final performance, but it is still Clark against Cryans. But is that a touch?
I'm not sure. He came in, splashed a lot of water, but it did look like his helmet was close enough that he could have rubbed it a little bit. So,
but you're right, it could have been water.
Wow,
and
very tidy in and out of that upstream. My goodness.
Well, we'll get an indication of the pace now as he comes through, and there is a penalty review on that gate, and he's really tight now. 0.19. Bradley Forbes-Cryans is absolutely smashing it here. He's got to keep his focus now, because he still could chase lead even if he does pick up a penalty on that gate up the top. It's
very nice into the last upstream.
So Bradley Forbes-Grimes now sprinting to the finish. The time to beat, 85.96. It's going to be just inside that, 85.91, but there is a penalty review ongoing. But well done, Bradley, because, well, you've put yourself in the mix. 85.91, and it will all be down. I can't remember. Ooh, there is a 2-second penalty now added to Bradley's time on the upstream gate 10. And what was it? Oh, was it a bit of his paddle? Something moved the pole. And we've got judges on the bank, and we've got the video judges there you see in the shot, looking at the gate from all sorts of different angles to determine it. If you hit the gate with water, it doesn't penalise you. Any part of your body, your boat or your paddle, and that's 2 seconds added to your time. So the finest margins will determine this World Championships. Bradley Forbes-Grimes into third place. So David Lorente staying at the top of the leaderboard at the moment for Spain, ahead of Juan Crespo, and then Bradley Forbes-Grimes for Great Britain.
And we can see from how in touch Bradley's second split was with David's, how much time David actually gained in the bottom to be able to absorb a 2-second penalty and still only be 0.05 of a second slower, or 0.04 of a second slower.
Yep, this final is going to really be decided by the hundredths of a second, certainly by the tenths. So Australia's Lucien Delfour in a familiar place, a World Championship final. And can he get on the podium? Because he's never been on the podium at a World Championships before, but he's certainly threatened a podium on many occasions. And here's someone you'd expect to be taking big risks in the final.
Absolutely. Just going for the punt there, but really having to reach for that wall. So he might not have gotten as much explosion out of the upstream as he was looking for, but he did it really well. About a second down on the split, so he's got some work to do. That's a lot of necking there in that offset and in this upstream. So I think that, just getting a little bit tied up there.
Well, he's certainly through that section. I think almost a bit too necky, unable to keep the power on the blade, and I think we may see that deficit has extended a little bit, but we'll find that out in just a few seconds' time. It has extended. David Lorente of Spain still top of the leaderboard at the moment, 1.77 that is now for Lucien Delfour of Australia, and too tight.
And all of it just coming untied right there.
Rejected a gate 20, having to go back on 2 occasions, and Lucien Delfour paddling his run out, and well, it's still a credible run, isn't it? But
finishing up with a really nice upright, but
the time has slipped away, and it's going to be out of the podium today. 4th place for Lucien Delfour of Australia. It is still Spain 1-2 at the halfway point of this 10-boat World Championship men's kayak final. David Lorente leads for Spain ahead of Juan Crespo, and then Bradley Forbes-Grimes for Great Britain. So still 5 boats to go in this World Championship final, and well, it's really starting to liven up, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to our race leader David Lorente at the halfway point.
Well, we're halfway through the final, and we have a Spanish man at the top of the leaderboard. David, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. The run wasn't perfect. I touched the last upstream, but anyway, I'm super happy. Now I'm sure for the Tokyo, for the spot in Spain, so I'm really happy for that. And we will see what the others do, but for sure without the touch will be an awesome run. And now we just, wait.
A big Spanish crowd here. What do you want to say to the crowd?
Bueno, lo digo en español, I say in Spanish. Muchísimas gracias a todos los que habéis venido desde la SEU, desde un poco más lejos como desde Segovia, desde parte de Castilla y León. muchísimas gracias. Antes de bajar veía las pancartas, veía pues, toda la gente dándome suerte y la verdad es que se nota muchísimo. Yo creo que ha sido el extra, ¿no?, de energía que he tenido ahora durante la bajada y es algo que no voy a olvidar pues nunca. Así que muchísimas gracias.
Congratulations, well done.
Well, he looks a happy man, and well, whether he stands the test of time and converts that into a gold medal, we'll have to wait and see. But David Lorente of Spain certainly giving the crowd absolutely something to cheer about, and acknowledging the crowd there in his interview there. So 85.96 is the benchmark to beat at the moment. What are you thinking it's going to take to win this World Championship final?
You know, we saw at least one, if not two 84s in semifinals. So I think that he can't quite rest easy just yet.
Yeah, I think it's probably looking good for a podium, but yeah, I think someone. When you look at who's still to come, then we've got well, 2 Olympic medalists, a World Championship medalist, a World Champion. It's yeah, there's a lot of credibility in there, and it is all about delivery though when it matters. Here is the classification at the halfway point of this men's kayak final. Here we're live at the World Championships in Spain, and David Lorente is giving the host nation something to cheer about. He sits at the top of the leaderboard with 5 to go. Look at the focus on our next competitor. It is Vit Prindiš of the Czech Republic. Now, he's won the World Cup this season. He's an established World Cup winner on several occasions, but already a penalty early on in his run on gate 1 of all gates. He won the silver medal at the 2017 World Championships, and well, in essence, at this stage, he is level with David Lorente.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking very composed, though, despite hitting gate 1. Hitting gate 1 opens up a whole new level of mental battle for the athletes when they're out on the course, because now they're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm already at a deficit now. So what do I have to do to defeat that and climb my way back up to a good ranking?
Well, he's certainly, as you'd expect from get my teeth back in, Vit Prindiš. He is cutting the lines, and he's always an exciting paddler to work through and watch on the course, and we'll get an indication as to whether he has managed to claw back any of that time as he goes past David Lorente's time. Well, he is level in some ways, because we know David Lorente had a touch on the bottom, but we also know how good David Lorente was on that bottom section.
You're absolutely right. So now it's all about how he's going to smash this up, and he went for it. Yeah, and very nice, but that gate pole was swinging.
He touched it with his top blade, I think, and yeah, penalty awarded, and it is Vit Prindiš of the Czech Republic who will drop to 4th place. 4 seconds of penalties, so 84.91. The pace was quick enough to take the lead, but well, the pressure of the final, it is intense.
Absolutely. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Those penalties, they add up, and it's just difficult to find your way out of that hole sometimes.
So Vit Prindiš of the Czech Republic into 4th place, and well, I wonder what this gate 10 was definitely tight on the approach, but I think it was a lot of water on his buoyancy aid, and the judging team just checking that out.
I love these slow motion angles of the camera, because it just really shows you how close these athletes are getting to the gate poles, and you know, sometimes they definitely hit it, and then other times they just are so aware, or maybe they're just a little bit lucky.
Millimeters makes the difference in, or I should say in American terms, inches. We'll decide whether we're metric or imperial, but David Lorente, there's no doubt about that. He is the top of the leaderboard for Spain, and it is still Juan Crespo for Spain in 2nd place. Bradley Forbes-Cryers of Great Britain sitting in 3rd place. 4 to go, and well, here on the top of the course is the person who, he went off pretty early, but he set a pace for everyone to chase. Pavel Igel of the Russian Federation. He hasn't got the most consistent record in terms of consistent performance, but when he finds the groove, he is deadly fast, and it was particularly on the top part of the course he found the time in the semi-final. He's a former junior European champion. That was back in 2008. And a little bit sticky, 3 to 4.
Yeah, falling just a little bit off of the line that he was looking for, but he used his experience to be able to pull himself back into there. He's maintaining the composure, and let's see if he can keep that around this corner here.
So he is going to be down on the race leader, David Lorente of Spain, 1.37 down. But still all to play for. David Lorente picked up a 2-second penalty on the bottom of the course, and Pavel is, well, battling a bit 10-11, but it's not shabby. This is the World Championship final. We're live from Spain, and we're watching Pavel Eigel of the Russian Federation as he looks to get on the podium. He has been on the podium at this level. Can he repeat it here today? Well, 3 seconds nearly now, the deficit. That's a big gap to try and chase down.
Right, absolutely, especially knowing how quickly David did the bottom.
Well, he has to wait for 21. I mean, it's good that he got the patience. It's so easy to rush that and take a penalty. And squeezing it round. But a touch, that's the danger, isn't it? 2 touches in the last 2 gates, and Pavel Eigel is punished cruelly at the bottom of the course and into 6th place. I feel for him there. Didn't deserve that, but that is our sport. It's brutal. Still Spain 1-2. Great Britain in 3rd place with 3 to go. So I'm sensing a bit of a Spanish party here. There's 2 Spaniards in the top 3. 3 to go. Yes, the remaining 3 could spoil that party, but they've certainly put themselves in a great position. Here we see Pavel Eigel just chase it down a little bit too much on the bottom section of the course, and it all really started in the upstream 23. Got a bit tight around the pole, didn't they? Lost the momentum of the boat, and then didn't really have that drive to set up 24 and 25.
You're right on. Just lost that speed, got a little bit stuck on the tail, and anytime the entirety of the boat isn't making contact with the water, that means you're probably hitting the brakes a bit, and you're just losing that momentum that is so often crucial to get wherever it is that you need to go next. Yeah,
well, 3 to go. That aerial shot here just reminds me, I don't really want to leave this place. It's such a nice place here in La Seu. This is the final day of the championships, and it's been a great championships. We've had a huge welcome from the Spanish, and the volunteers have been incredible. But now on course for Portugal, Antoine Launay goes for gold here in the men's K1 World Championship final.
Showing his patience here in the top bit of the course, keeping the boat moving pretty well. Is he going to go for the punt? No, he's going to take a couple of strokes rather than just going for the wall to get out of the upstream. Now through the flat corner on his way to the first split.
Well, he was 3rd fastest in the semi-final, and I did think he actually was quite conventional, but he was very effective in that conventional approach. But 2 seconds now down on David Lorente of Spain. Certainly got the lines, and he'll be very familiar with this facility here. And nearly buries it on 13 to 14, and a good little use of the edge there to rescue that.
Right, absolutely. But it does seem to me like he is going a little bit too conventional at this point. That can be a very fast technique, but you have to really be using the water as best as you possibly can. And I don't think he's quite getting the speed that he's looking for. Very nice through, up 20 though, and now into the second to last stagger, keeping himself off the poles, diving into this last treacherous move.
Wow.
All right, holding the bow upstream a little bit.
Oh, he's certainly cutting the lines, and it's going to be close as he sprints to the finish, but a 2-second penalty on the penultimate gate, and Antoine Launay of Portugal drops down to 5th place. Oh, cruel again, but it does mean that Spain are guaranteed a medal. They just don't know what colour it is. David Lorente of Spain is going to be a World Championship medalist. There we have them. Juan Crespo and Bradley Forbes-Cryans still our top 3 with 2 to go. So Antoine Launay, quite a different technical style, isn't he? He's really good at delivering the power. He gives himself space around the gates to deliver that power.
Right, you are. He's clearly very well built, has a lot of power to work with, and so I think that he tries to use that to his advantage as much as he possibly can.
And he'll be pleased. Portugal have an Olympic boat quota place, and his supporters, he's down at the finish line. His supporters are clinging on to the riverbank, trying not to fall in, trying to congratulate him. He's 5th place in the World Championship final with 2 boats to go. The Spanish crowd will be, well, eagerly anticipating. They're currently sitting in 1st and 2nd. Great Britain's Bradley Forbes-Grimes in 3rd place, and well, Bradley Forbes-Grimes, that slightest of touch on gate 10. How, as you say, could have, would have, what's the question you said earlier?
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
That's the one. And well, it is Great Britain's Joseph Clark now launching his campaign in this World Championship final. The Olympic champion, the World Cup winner from earlier on this season, 2 other World Cup finals in the 3 World Cups he's done. So certainly consistent in terms of his delivery. But never won a World Championship medal, and certainly super hungry for it. And only recently got a world #1 status for the first time in his career.
Taking things very direct, 1 second even off of the top split. He's going to be looking to close that. Excellent, but that's pole swinging just a tiny bit. Oh, and taking a penalty on gate 12.
So Joseph Clark on gate 11 confirmed a penalty. I don't think there was one on 10, but he's a little bit lower than he would have liked on 14. He needs to refocus now, because don't forget, David Lorente did have a penalty on the bottom part of the course, but it's probably a big ask, because he was a second down on the split. 3.0 down now, and it's about Joseph Clark getting on another penalty. And well, he's in trouble now, and I think there is a penalty review. Where that is, I don't know, but Joseph Clark now 4 seconds in penalties. He's not going to challenge the podium, but it's a good run. It's going to be a quick run as well as he comes to the finish. 88.70. Not happy with that. And the Olympic champion is only in 4th place at the moment. That is a provisional result. There is a penalty review. And oh, here we see it. This was what you said, Casey. He was very close on gate 10. It doesn't look like he has hit it with anything, but that's up to the judges to decide. There they are, looking at the video reviews. They've got a multiple variety of angles, haven't they?
Right, and that is just good evidence of how you can see the pole just swings in just a tiny little bit, but it could have easily been water. These athletes are coming into this upstream with so much speed, and as they hit that curler, they're throwing just a total wave of water right at that gate pole. So, well,
the asterisk is off. Joseph Clark in 4th place. The penalty review is complete.
Well,
but David Lorente now guaranteed a silver medal. Juan Crespo guaranteed a bronze medal. Bradley Forbes-Grimes of Great Britain sitting in bronze. And it is all down to the final run. And, well, that opens up the Olympic selection within Great Britain as well, because Joseph Clark, well, it's all, there's bonus points up for grabs for top 5 places. I'm not going to speculate, but it is, I think Joseph Clark has probably done enough to hold off the challenge from Bradley Forbes-Grimes, but what a challenge that is. Let's focus on the top part of the course, because Jiri Priskovic, the world champion from 2015, the bronze medalist from the Rio Olympic Games, and Mr. Consistent from 2019 is on course.
I am really curious to see what kind of magic he can throw down on this course. He's looking focused, he's keeping things moving well, going for that extension punt that's very, very Jiri Priskovic. You know, very few athletes are willing to just extend the paddle out like that and change their grip.
Well, and he needed a longer arm. He was right at the limits of his extension. 0.17. Well, that is good, because Lorente had a touch on the bottom part of the course. So Jiri Priskovic supreme on 10 and 11.
Very aggressive in that double upstream. Just maybe a little bit hung up on the exit, but now he's going very aggressively to the bounce, taking the tight line, really ducking underneath of 14, and off he goes.
So this guy has not been, well, he was off the podium once in the World Cup series across 5 races, and that was when he came 4th. So what a performance, and look, he has got the advantage. 0.36 now. Is he going to go high risk on 20? Well, it's good.
Very direct.
David Lorente can barely look as Jiri Priskovic comes into the final upstream. Surely we're looking at the new world champion.
One last gate. Wow, just ducking right under there and letting it go. Wow.
And he almost stopped paddling again before the finish, but Jiri Priskovic takes his second world title of his career for the Czech Republic. Well done, Jiri. And well, performance under pressure there. What a result there. David Lorente of Spain in second, Juan Crespo of Spain in third. Britain's Bradley Forbes-Prize. What a result, a personal best for him in fourth. And Joseph Clark, the Olympic champion, in fifth for Great Britain. Wow. Let's get our breath. What's your reflections on that?
Oh, you know, it was clear to me that everybody was just laying it down there. And I think that kind of reflected in the maybe we didn't actually see the times that they were quite all capable of. They're trying to cut the lines as much as they possibly can. We've talked a little bit about how sometimes that's not actually to your advantage, because if you get too pinched on a gate pole, it limits your ability to get that next stroke in, and you might lose a little bit of speed. But still, overall, that was really incredible finals. It was something to watch. Jiri Priskovic, world champion. That's just, he's going to be a happy man tonight. Gets to go home to his family, his new baby, and celebrate a happy father.
I suspect he'll have a headache tonight, or will in the morning, but it'll be a well-deserved headache, because what a performance. He wins his second world title in this event. You can see what that means to him. And, well, I just look at this and you just think you can barely thread a piece of paper between these athletes' heads and the poles, and that's the kind of margins that we've looked at across this men's kite final. What a performance we've seen. Jiri Priskovic, again, so consistent.
He's a really incredible paddler. It's been a lot of fun watching him over these years, and he's just proving every year that even though you already think he's amazing, he can squeak out a little bit more, and he just shows that he can still get better.
Well, here are the results for the men's K1 final here at the World Championships, and it is Jiri Priskovic takes gold for the Czech Republic. Spain take bronze and silver. And let's speak to Jiri Priskovic down at the finish line for the Czech Republic, our new world champion.
Jiri Priskovic, I don't think you can actually believe it, can you? You're a world champion.
Again, it's crazy. It's so nice to be a world champion right before the Olympic year, and as well as with all my family here and my little son. It's just super nice.
It's been such a big year for you. This is the crowning achievement in what has been it's been a tough battle, hasn't it?
It's been a tough battle, and I felt really good coming into this race, but the semis were like really nervous, and now I was just standing on the start. I didn't know any other times, and I just told myself that I'll put down the best run I can, I'll enjoy it, and I'm truly happy with my run and with how I've been paddling here all the World Champs. And yeah, it's nice to take the crown after Peter Kauser that won here 10 years ago.
Congratulations, Jiri.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, what a popular winner, I think, there. He's certainly showed his consistency over the season, and he gets the reward here at Liceu Urgell in Spain. And he takes gold for the Czech Republic. Spoils the party a little bit for Spain, but, well, that's going to be a big party. Silver and bronze for Spain's David Lorente and Juan Crespo. And, well, Bradley Forbes-Prize of Great Britain. What a performance there. Just knocked off the podium at the final run of the competition. Well, we've had such a welcome from the Spanish crowd. The town of Liceu Urgell in Spain has given us the warm welcome we're used to. This on the third staging of these World Championships here on this Olympic venue from the 1992 Olympic Games. And well, the competition has been as tight as we expected, and as ever, good stories and cruel results, because such are the margins in this fantastic sport of canoe slalom. But it is the Czech Republic who take gold in the men's K1 event. So thank you, Casey Eichfeld, for joining me in the commentary box here as we look at this great venue on this sunny day. But from here in La Seu, it is goodbye from me, Andy Mallock, and Casey Eichfeld, and well, what a setup for next year.